Hey Hada, what's happening in Melee? Oh my gosh, we had a viral Melee clip and it was this close to being even more awesome. And we can talk about the iBDW reverse pop-off in as much
Oh
detail as you
God.
want. There's just been there have been moist critical breakdowns, there have been podcasts about it, the Radio Melee Hungrybox interview that I'm referring to. There have been analysis videos on analysis videos, none talking about it. I mean, everybody's gotten a piece of this, but it hasn't been just that. There have been, oh, I should actually transition the screen so that people can actually see you. Oh, there we go.
Oh, hey, we're here. What's up?
My bad. But all that to say, what's happening in Melee from your perspective, Hada? What's been standing out to you recently?
I mean, I feel like I always start off everything with I mean. It's just like, I think what was cool is I've gotten this new habit where I watch a lot of Melee, like if there's a tournament going on, and if Fizzwiggle and myself are not there, we're usually playing TFT or League of Legends, and we have it on a second monitor. We're watching it together, and we were watching GOML top 8 and playing Teamfight Tactics, and the reverse pop off, the iBDW versus Hungrybox counter pop off happened, and we both at the same time go, we're kind of just like, I don't know how we feel about that one. And Fizz is just like, dude, I didn't like that. Ooh. I mean, the HBox pop offs are synonymous and they're notorious at this point. It's just always, 10 points over the minimum amount of points required for a decent pop off. And of course, for some people, especially if you've been popped off on a handful of times, or you had to be in those top 8s where you're seeing those pop offs, I'm sure it can get obnoxious and get old, especially, after he was planking the ledge against Cody in game 1. And, you know, to me, it was like I was also seeing in all my Discord chats in like the top left corner, we get like the little notification bubble. It's like multiple people was like, wow, that was his Joker moment. That was like he snapped. It was over. It was all downhill from there mentally after Cody. After Cody did the counter pop off or the pop off block maneuver. But I mean, the top 8 was great. J-Mook had an amazing run. Beat Zane, had some pretty close sets with H God. And of course, the iBDW set and the HBox set was great. It was last stock game 5. And last hit game 5. It was an exciting top 8. Josh, man, crashing all the way to a 4th place, beating Moki and iBDW on the way to get there. So Josh, man, securing himself as the greatest Australian player to come out in Melee history, as well as cementing himself as definitely a top 20, top 30, if not top 20 caliber player. Absolutely phenomenal performance from big man Sora. So, it was a great top 8. Love that GOML series. It was, and of course, all the publicity it got from, like you're saying, from Moist Critical, from XQC, from big podcast outlets and big esports outlets picking it up. I'm sure the Score Esports will write a little piece about it in the next coming week. It's great. It's all good all around. And my boy Walt and my boy Radar were on the mic for it, so definitely lots of great content to go around.
Yes, actually, we didn't see the counter pop off right as it happened, unfortunately, but I had some people over. The Melee tournament, GOML was on the big TV while it was happening, and they don't know anything about Melee. And so I have it on as background, and I'm just trying to keep an eye on things as they're happening. Mm-hmm. So we missed the pop off somehow, the counter pop off, but otherwise they're seeing different things, and they're asking like questions about what's going on. Why does everybody care about this? It's a 20-year-old game, like all that kind of stuff. But after about 20 or so minutes of like, we're talking about stuff, we talk a little bit about Melee and what's happening. We talk about stuff, we kind of go back to what's happening now, like Jesse, what's happening now, and explaining stuff. And they're starting to get it. They're starting to understand. And I think part of it is just the atmosphere that the GOML crowd, all the Canadians, all the international talent that's there watching the tournament after not being able to go as far in their own tourney runs, and of course all of us crazy US people going up there as well, and having mics on the stage to hear iBDW just like more or less saying, hey, if you're gonna be on the ledge all day, well then good shit, Xbox. Like that's his mentality after game 1 and asking for ledge grabbing count. I loved all of that. It was a great top 8 to watch as a viewer, and and a lot of it was still coming across in certain, not in terms of understanding how the players are playing, but I sort of give the storylines of each player to the people who know nothing about the game, know nothing about Melee, and they're going, all right, let's go, Josh, man. I'm like
Let's
saying Josh as
go.
the underdog. And of course, as soon as you know who's supposed to win, who's supposed to lose, you just start to do that yourself. You can't help it. And they were getting into it a little bit because the crowd's getting into it a little bit. Walt and Radar are definitely getting into it. Shout outs. One of my favorite new age pairings of commentators.
Mm-hmm.
And for you, I'm sure because you are deep in the commentary sauce, always looking for those Google Sheet forums. Hey, who's looking for applicants? Because we got to get Hada on the mic. Can I just say that? Get Hada on the mic. Always and forever. Amen.
Yeah. It's unfortunately was not able to secure a spot for Double Down, so you won't see me quite this weekend. But looking at some other opportunities, of course, still applying, still doing what we can, and really excited to see what else the waters where the waters push me per se, where the currents and the tides will take me. But right now, I got a lot of stuff going on. I got a new job. I'm playing a lot of volleyball. I have a sand volleyball league I'm playing in tonight. My game starts at 9:30. My God, but I have to be there early to like register and everything. So it's just like, whew. It's I'm in a good spot though. I'm in a very good spot, and I'm happy to be here. You will get to see my doubles partner in commentary, Trey the Trash Man on commentary for Double Down. So please go check out All Chat Esports, Trey the Trash Man, and show him some love on the Double Down stream, please.
Absolutely, by all means. And if are you actually going to Double Down, or are you not going to Double Down? Just to clarify, you're not going
I
to as a
will not
commentator,
be
but are you
there.
going as a player?
I will not be attending. I just my finances aren't there. I could only really finance it if I was going for work, quote unquote. So
Mm.
definitely looking at Big House for sure. Big House is definitely going to be my next really really big sought after event, and I should be good to go after that. So Big House is going to be my next really really serious look. I will definitely go even if I don't get commentary. But more than anything, I'm excited. It'll be great. Gotta check out which other big tournaments are coming out and around, and definitely toss some applications here and there. But we will see.
Okay, so I will be going to Big House because
Ooh.
I was like I could go to 2 majors this year, and I wanted to go to one as soon as humanly possible. So that was Pound, and that was fun, and we all missed you. All chat people were there except for you, and I felt so bad, but it was great to see everybody there, and have my first major experience as a person, and then Big House, I was like, I gotta go to Big House. I could drive to Detroit. Are you kidding me? I could drive there. I don't even
Here we
have to
go.
fly. And so I hope to see you there, Hada, because we could do at least a little IRL Hey Hada segments kind of stuff. I'm gonna be trying to do a little bit of content. I'm gonna be trying to see what I can do if I can accidentally end up on stage somewhere. Like oh wait, how'd I end up here? And they go, wait a second, but then I go, hey, I have this badge or something. I don't know. I'm going to be trying to fumble my way into something comical, Todd Chavez levels from BoJack Horseman comedy. I'm looking for something like that for me and the Big House 10 this
Mm,
fall. But with Double Down being the most forefront tournament, it's coming up this weekend. You have all kinds of potential for wonderful Melee to happen yet again. We are so spoiled. This summer of Melee has been super fun to follow along with. But with Double Down, the saddest part of it is that Jmook will not be making an appearance again. And after seeing
yeah.
Jmook reverse 3-0 Zane twice, once in winners and again in losers finals, just the kind of thing that I'm explaining to my brother Blake, who follows the scene a little bit less than I do. And I said,
Hmm.
did you see any GOML results? And he said no. And so I showed it to him, and he's like, no way, no way. And like really into it. I go, yes. You need to be seeing these live. Even if you have friends over, put it on the TV and ignore them half the time.
Love that. You love that. I mean, yeah. I'm glad that we're still taking having COVID symptoms really seriously. I saw Jay Mook said, he was displaying COVID and flu-like symptoms. He was getting a PCR test in the next 24 hours. So better safe than sorry. He's like, I'm not gonna, get on a flight and go to Double Down. Just want to make sure, health and safety does come first, especially as we're trying to 100% stop this or like halt the spread of COVID, guys. Please, from one healthcare worker to the rest of the community, it is still very important. We can't. Obviously, there's a lot of conditions as well as regulations that have been lax, and rightfully so because the spread of COVID has dropped immeasurably. But still, just you can't get too complacent. If you're feeling sick, stay home. No one, even your boss, if they don't understand, they're just a dick. If you're feeling sick, don't go to the bar with the homies. Don't go to the local. Don't go to work. Just be like, hey, I feel sick. I'm gonna get a COVID test. If I don't have COVID, then I'll see you tomorrow. But if not, we have 15-minute tests, we have 1 hour tests, we have PCR tests. It's very, very important that we still stay safe and we still keep each other safe.
I love that, Hada. Thank you so much for the reminder, because there's always the part of me that loves to get excited about stuff, but you're helping to bring that part back out of me that says safety is a really big deal as well. And it is the underlying danger of having back-to-back events, or I should say every weekend there being a really big tournament. And not everybody. Okay, look, if I could go to all of these, obviously I would if I actually had the means. But there are other people, the top 10 level players, who have been to a lot of these, and often back-to-back weekends, back-to-back. And it is definitely a concern. And if Jmook says I need to be able to do this the right way, love that, respect that for sure. And so now I'm curious to hear from you about possible players to break into top 8 for Double Down. We'll go over this event and then we'll get out of here. We have players like Fiction, who we haven't seen a whole lot of this summer. Frenzy making a return to a bracket since, I guess, not going back to the UK, and then also Professor Pro as well. But then also Slug, who we haven't seen in a while. Oh, Breakfast is here! Yes, let's go.
We found her. She was playing. Yes, she was playing with a hair tie, and she was very mad at me for disrupting her. But of course, we know she has fans with the pod, so it has to at least say hello. Say hi, Brick. Say hi. No, not feeling talkative.
Oh, I love you, Breakfast.
All right, there she goes. Say bye. All right.
But you have potential players like Slug or Frenzy or Professor Pro to sort of break open this bracket a little bit. Do you like anybody potentially breaking into the top 8, or do you want us to go straight to top 8 predictions?
I mean, I think you brought up a really marquee player that always has that wild card potential to make a top 8 or to make a deep run is Slug. Slug is so outrageously good at Melee. And I've seen a lot more credit given to the top level Ices main. So because I'm seeing, in Smash Twitter, there are top players, looking for Ices practice. I saw Justice, I saw Moki, and I forget who else. I think it might have been it was one of the Sheiks. I can't remember who it was, but they were all like saying looking for serious Ices practice. And I saw this because I saw that formerly known as Cal, but now known as Essie, best player, one of the better players coming out of Ohio, actually started maining Ices during the bulk of the pandemic, and so now dual mains Ices and Fox. So they were picking up some top level Ices practice against Justice specifically. So super exciting to see that. I think Slug is a wild card, very akin to a player like Amsa, where you can never count them out. You can always see a deep run, but of course, I think Amsa on a different level than Slug as of right now. But I would not be shocked as if in 6 months that Slug is putting up Amsa-like performances. I saw some great performances from players like B-Bats over the GOML weekend, getting top 64. There's a lot of good up and coming players. J-Flex making a appearance at Double Down this upcoming weekend as well. But I think my big picks for top 8, Mango, HBox, Amsa, Kadoran's going. I believe Zane will be there. I don't think Wizzy is going anymore. I think they might still be going, but I know they're still having some health complications. So I would love to see if Wizzy makes an appearance. I would love to see a Wizzy performance. I think it's been way too long since we've seen at least a Wizzy specific Falcon performance. I think none has been performing very, very well. So the Falcon representation is definitely still there. So I mean, those are definitely like my top 4, top 5, and I think what's cool about this double down bracket is those final 3 spots are super super up in the air. I think Kadoran is going to be a gatekeeper for one of those spots, and if you're at that level, if you're nipping at Kadoran's heels, or you're one of those top 30, top 20 level players who's really really trying to put an exclamation point before the big ranking season gets kicked off, this is the time to do it.
And then we have top 8 itself, which is projected to be on winner's side, Zayn versus Amsa, Hungrybox versus iBDW. Then on the loser's side, Kadoran versus Moki, Mango versus None. And I'm looking at this, and seed-wise, they're already seeding Hungrybox as the 2 seed, which is interesting. It means that Hungrybox beats iBDW in winner's semis again, and then loses to Zayn for the winners finals, and then again in grand finals. Of course, seeding is only seeding, but if there is indeed a Hungrybox versus iBDW rematch, which obviously would very much pique everybody's interest, including our own, I am very excited to see the adaptation, because maybe a week is not enough to completely calm down, like completely down to your soul, to be able to say, I can take a loss from Hungrybox, but I know what I need to do to win this matchup, and I know that I can do it, because IBDW should feel that way. But for someone who I would describe IBDW as an emotional player, maybe not the most emotional player ever, or what have you, but it will be interesting to see if there is indeed a rematch, how that goes, and then seeing Zayn seated at number 1 again, despite the fact that Zayn has not won the tournament that he's attended for a few tournaments in a row now, still projected to win, is also really interesting, because they're still giving him that respect, because Zayn is that kind of player. Let's not make the mistake, but it's how many tournaments do you go where you fall short, and then the next tournament is, well, we have to look at the people who are winning these events. And of course, it's interesting because only one person has won multiple majors, and it's Zayn this year in 2022. Everybody else has taken 1. And so I'm excited to see how it goes in terms of who makes it to winners finals and how it goes in grands. But I still look at Zayn and I go, please, Zayn, please make everyone feel hopeless about how good you play. especially since there doesn't seem to be a big Sheik in the way, like Jmook, like Leffen. So if you're having problems with the Sheik matchup and there's not a Sheik here, if you win double down over players like iBDW and Hungrybox and AMSA, it's still a W, and we take those. So I'm looking at Zayn. It's sort of like how we looked at Hungrybox for CEO. Hungrybox, you gotta win this event. But then he didn't, so Sag. But for this and Zayn, it's like, you know the Puff matchup, you know how to beat AMSA in the Yoshi matchup. You'll beat iBDW as long as you are playing at a high enough level, and iBDW is playing at like a certain, like, not at level 10 perhaps, because iBDW is a really good Fox that does challenge Zayn. But this is an event that Zayn can win, assuming that the seed actually plays out like it does in real life. So barring the whole real life versus what's supposed to happen on paper, who do you like for this event, Hada?
I think Zayn's the overwhelming favorite. I think the only reason Zayn wasn't the overwhelming favorite at GOML specifically is because he didn't get to have that matchup against Hungrybox. I think Zayn is very, very favored in that matchup, specifically head to head. But got double Jmooked, and Jmook played out of his gourd at GOML. So big props to Jmook for doing the Lord's work and beating down the sword guy. But when it really boils down to it, I think it's really important to note that there, like you're saying, there's not that top level presence, not that top level Sheik presence that's going to be a threat to Zayn specifically. So what it really going to have to look at is who is going to be, if anyone, going to be the threat to take down Zayn. I mean, there's iBDW, there's Mango, and I think None actually has that potential as well. I think in a lot of their recent sets, None has been made to look the fool, but I know that None has that potential to absolutely one-shot those midweight characters. So that your Sheiks, your Marths, and a lot of None's biggest wins were against, middleweight characters like Sheik and Marth. So I think he has that potential to make an upset. I think AMSA also has the potential to beat Zayn. It's a lot of potential. I think it's one of those things where I would take Zayn specifically against like iBDW, I take him 60-40. I think against Mango, maybe another 60-40, against None a 70-30, against Amsa a 70-30, and maybe a 70-30 against HBox. But the thing is, none of those are 100% guarantees. I think Zane buying away is probably the favorite matchup to matchup, especially in those top 8 performances. I think HBox could go back to back. I think HBox is playing very, very well. Say what you want and about how you feel about, planking, playing defensive, playing the ledge. But if you're still within the rule set and you're playing to win, in the grand scheme of things, this is a tournament, you play to win. And
Yes.
HBox did that, and HBox has been doing that for years. I think Mango's due. Mango is due for a win. And more than anything, the person who's most due out of that top 8 is Amsa. I think Amsa could make huge waves if he were to take down Double Down this weekend.
Absolutely, 100%. And so we'll just leave it at that. So for the podcast stuff that we have going on, you can see that this is a new overlay and stuff. There's also going to be a fob controller giveaway. So follow at BSM Pod and you will see that go live sometime in the very near future. Just keep an eye out. Trust me. You want to win a free fob controller. Be part of the future. Hada, make sure that people know where they can find you.
Yeah, I'm at Hey Hada on Twitch and Twitter, at Hada, I think, on YouTube. What's really cool is in the Peach research and development Discord, the R&D Discord, which is actually a very poppin' Discord. It's been like that for a little while, even back in the Facebook days. We had a Facebook group. Good friend of mine and big and a pillar of especially of the West Texas community. I believe San Antonio is Luigi Toilet. He's actually making a combo video for all the relevant R&D Discords, and Peach is the newest one. So I submitted some spicy clips for that, as well as I have a dual-tage montage combo video with Pelipper in the works. We have some clips saved up. I don't know if we have everything we want quite yet, but it's in the works. So we have some really spicy Peach content coming out. I've been playing a lot of volleyball. Like too much. So it's my schedule's crazy. It's work in the morning, get off work, and then I play drop in on Tuesday. I have a league Wednesday. I have a sand league Thursday, which I'm about to go to. I have drop in on Friday. Saturday's really my only day off, and Monday's my actual only day off. Saturday I go play outdoor if I'm not doing anything with the lady, and Sunday night I play drop in, and then I start the week over.
My gosh.
I've been working out. I've been playing a ton of volleyball. I've been winning a lot. I have a volleyball tournament, 4v4 tournament on Saturday night. So if you like sports ball, if you like content like that, I'm actually going to try to start tweeting about it a little bit more. My next big content related purchase for myself is probably going to be a GoPro or something like that, so I can start filming actual volleyball content. It's in the works. I've been saying it for a while, but with new job and a lot of bills, some things have to take a back seat, and this is one of those, but it's definitely in the works, I promise. So trying to branch out a little bit, get more into the fitness side. And if you're into fitness as well as gaming, the Play Crack Get Jacked program through All Chat Esports, through our Discord, there's lots of great ways and a lot of great people who are here to help you in your fitness journey. And I think it's a really important way to keep a good work, gaming, and life balance. Be healthy to yourself, because you healthy mind, healthy body, and you'll go far for sure.
And of course, with all of those things, Hada, good luck. I love the fact that you're trying to be responsible with everything, but once you're able to do all the stuff that you want to do, I know it's going to feel super great. So keep hanging in there. And to all of you, drink water, stay safe, and we will see you next week.
Drink water, baby.